will be added to those. So plus 1 intersecting places, plus 1
3 plus 1
intersecting places, yeah, 3 plus 1
0
plus 1, that's it.
Hmm.
Okay, 4 intersecting places. So if we just make this again, so this 0 is unchanged. Okay, this 8 plus 1 becomes 9, this is 0 unchanged, 6 unchanged, this becomes 3. Okay, 2 minus 1 is 1, this is unchanged, this is 2, 2 and 0. The third row is 0,
4
4, 1, 0, 1. This is 0, 0, 4 minus 1 is 3, this 1 minus 1 is 0 and this 1 is unchanged, and finally last row 1 minus 1 0,
0
this is unchanged, 5 minus 1 4, 2 minus 1 1 and 0 as it is. Okay, so let us count number of zeros now.
again draw lines.
Okay, we'll have to again take minimum number of horizontal and vertical lines so that all zeros are gone. Fifth column getting more and more weaker. Only 2 zeros this time. Is there any place? Yeah.
First
D.
column 4 zeros.
First
Column 4 zeros are there.
Oh yeah, first column is overtaking now. Fifth column there are 4 zeros at the same time. So let us delete the first column. Okay, so 4 zeros are gone. What next?
Anyone.
Second
Second
let us
column.
see. The first row. First row has only 1 0. Second row has 1. Third row
column
has
is
1.
right. Second
Fourth
column
row
is-
has 2. And fifth row has 2. If you look column wise, this is gone. This has 2. This is 1.
2
This is 2.
2.
And this is 2. So many places with 2 zeros.
Hmm.
Okay, what would we prefer?
Anything.
Maybe anything. Okay, let us go with columns. This is 2 zeros.
2 zeros.
Okay, so let us go to that column. So this column is gone.
Delete all columns.
Okay,
Next column.
so
4.
again now 2. Again,
Column 4.
this is only 1 0. 1 0. So, but these are 2 zeros here. So let us delete it here. Okay.
Column 5 also. 5
And
also 2 zeros.
now 2 zeros are left, but we cannot cover these 2 awkward zeros by a single line. So there is no choice. Let us go for zeros and go for these also. So finally, where are we? We had to require 5 lines if we wanted to cover all the zeros. So let us summarize what did we do. We started with the first step where we subtracted the minimum element of each row, then minimum element of each column, and then we started an exercise of deleting zeros by minimum number of horizontal and vertical lines. The problem was really not an easy one, so we started with only 3 lines. Actually, we needed 3 lines in the beginning. Then we moved on to 4 lines. We are not lucky enough, so again 4 lines. Okay, and finally we have won the match. 5 lines are there. So as soon as we come to 5 lines, we say that this problem is now ready for the assignment. So at last we have come to the finals of the match. So this is our data. Okay, where 5 lines are needed and the problem is ready for the assignment. So the final task requires something more. So now we need only zeros with us. All other numbers will be retired. So this 0 is welcome. We don't need 9. We need 0. We don't need this. We don't need this. Okay, in the second row again 1 is useless for us. 5 is not required. 2 not required. Not required. This is very well required. Okay, this 0 again welcome.
0 sir. The last element in the
last
fifth
element.
B5. Second row, 5th column. 0 should be
Okay,
there.
second row
5th column.
it was 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very well required.
Okay. So anyway, this is not required. Not required. 1 is of course not required. 0 is welcome. 1 is not of use. 3 zeros here. So required, we need don't need yes and no. And finally, yes,
Yes.
yes, no,
No.
no, and yes. Okay, so we are left with only zeros. People many times say that zeros are of no use. We can say that only zeros are of use here. Okay, so with this we start with our final battle. What we need to do is we actually should start with checking every row. We'll go row wise and we'll see that which row has the minimum number of zeros. We can look at the first row. How many zeros?
2 zeros.
Okay, we have 2 zeros, then only 1 zero. This is only 1 zero. Okay,
Three
this
zeros.
is 3 zeros
3 zeros.
and 3 zeros. If you look at the column wise, the first column
3 zeros.
has big number of zeros,
2,
2,
1,
only 1,
2.
2,
Two.
and 2. So these are the number of zeros. Okay, we'll start with the minimum number of zeros. Where is that?
Second.
Okay, these 2 rows and this column. Suppose we start with this row, which is having a minimum number of zeros. So whatever that only 0 is available to us, make a box around that 0, that is the king. Okay, and since we selected a row, actually we selected a second row, whatever row number is, but it was a row. So as soon as we mark a 0 in a row, that column will be died. Okay, so if we select a row, column has to be deleted. If we select a column, row has to be deleted. Okay, so we selected a second row, so that column has gone. Actually, this column has gone. Again, the exercise starts. First row, 2 zeros are there.
Third row will be selected.
Second row, there are no zeros now. Okay, here we have 1 0, here we have 3 zeros. This has become 2 now. What about the first column? 3 is as it is. This is 2, fine. This is 1 0 and 2 zeros, fine. So again we start from the first row. Minimum number of zeros we need. 2 zeros, we are not interested. Okay, this is no zeros actually. We don't anyway require. Yeah, here there is 1 0. So again we'll prefer it. We'll go to that row. First we had gone to the second row. Now we go to the third row. We'll respect this 0. But since it was a row, that column will have to die. Okay, so this column goes. Okay, now again a fresh process. Number of zeros 2, no zeros,
No zeros.
no zeros now. So this one has gone. Yeah, 2 zeros now. This is 2 zeros, 2 zeros. Actually 3 zeros, 2 zeros, and 1 0. So in row we can say that there is no row with 1 0. Okay, so we'll have to take help of columns now. Let us look at the columns. First is 3, 2, and here is 1. Oh, that is 1 is the minimum. So we'll have to follow that column. So we go to that column, the only 0 available to us. As soon as that column was selected, the row is gone. Okay, so once again the fresh story. This is gone. This is gone. This is gone. Okay, now look at this. How many zeros? 2 zeros. Here also 2 zeros. If you look at column wise, okay,
3.
3, that has become 2 now. Okay, this has become 2 now. This is also 2. Okay, that 0 is not available with us now. And that's it. Okay, what is the minimum number of zeros now with us? We can say that no, 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, and 2 zeros here. So there is a tie. We can take anyone. Thank you. So we can take anyone. What shall we go for? Suppose we go for this one. This 2 zeros. This row, suppose we go for. And we respect this 0. Okay, since we are going for a row, that column has to go. Okay, so finally, so even this is gone. So 4 squares are available to us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, these are the 4 assignments with us. We can go for the next step, but even otherwise it is obvious now. If 4 people are given 4 jobs, then only one job is left and only one man is left. Okay, so that is very trivial. So let us look at the assignment. What actually we did at the end. The first man, Mr. A, was given this box, that is the third job. So the final summary says that this Mr. A has gone to, yeah, but 4 assignments are done, so fifth is obvious. Okay, so A has to do the third job. What about B? It goes at the end. So B has to go for fifth job. What about C? C has to go for the fourth job. Okay. D is left, but anyway, E is done. Oh,
No,
D is given the second
assigned.
job actually.
Yes,
So this is given the second job. So job number 2, 3, 4, 5, they are gone. So that is the only one job. Job number 1. Okay. So there were 5 people and 5 jobs. We could see that all the 5 people are assigned 5 jobs. Let us calculate. If you can just look at the old example, we can go to that slide. So, sir, can you please search it out? Yeah. So we'll have to go to step number 1. Here we can see again that A. Okay. We'll have to see on the board again. The first man is given the third job. The third man, okay, that is B actually. Second man is given the fifth job. Third man, fourth job. Fourth man, second job. And fifth man, the first job. Okay.
You write the
So
correspondence.
this is the assignment available to us. Let us calculate the values actually.
Now the main slide.
Okay, if you can move on to the slide to see the original values. These are the original values. Actually, according to our solution, Mr. A should be given the third job. Let us see in the slide. If A is given the third
2
job,
hours.
the value is 2. So the value is 2.
Okay. I will
Okay. If B is given the fifth job, that is 1.
1.
If C is given the fourth job, okay, that is value 3. If D is given the second job, the value is 2. And if E is given the first job,
5.
okay, the value is 5. So again, we can see on the board, we have noted down these values actually. If A is given the third job, the time required will be 2 hours. B for fifth job, 1 hour. C for fourth job, we require 3 hours. D for second job, and we require 2 hours. And E doing the first job will require 5 hours. Let us make the total. How many hours we need? 2 and 1, 3, 6, 8 and 5. 13 hours. Okay, so we needed 13 hours. If we just follow this method, we needed 13 hours to finish our job. If you recall, we applied a lot of common sense to find out the solution, and that number was 15 hours. Okay, so we saved 2 clear hours. We had to do some mechanical process, but that simply suggests that only common sense doesn't help in mathematical problems. So we have survived, and we have found out actually that if we apply this Hungarian method, then the 2 hours are clearly saved. So this is what is Hungarian method for solving assignment problems. So this was one demonstration, okay, where we could see that by applying Hungarian method, we can simply find out which job is to be given to which person so that we save our time. Okay, so once again, we'll just have a quick look at the summary. And when we'll go to the slides, once again, we'll have a quick look at the summary. So we'll go to step 1 for this example, where we'll see on the slide that we started with subtracting minimum element of each row. So yeah, this is step number 1. We subtracted minimum element of each row from every row. Then we went to step number 2. Okay, in the first table, we looked at the columns. We found the minimum element of columns. We can see, like here in this slide, that the minimum element of first column is only 0. So we have to subtract 0 from every element of first column. Second column has again 0, third is 0, but the fourth is 1. So the fourth column will have change of numbers. All numbers will be reduced by 1. And fifth is 0, so will be unchanged. So this was step number 2. So if you go to step number 3, okay, we could see that there were many zeros in our table. So we tried to cover, okay, our zeros by horizontal and vertical lines. We should take care that minimum number of lines are required. So by doing that, we can see that only 3 lines were required. So that was not a good news actually. If you go to the next slide, it is reflected number of lines were only 3, but the order of the problem was 5. So we could see that the problem is not ready for the assignment. Okay. We can just go to the next step. We had some special way to generate more zeros. By generating more zeros, more lines will be produced, and at one stage we'll reach to 5 lines. And once we reach 5 lines, there is some small magical process, which gives the final allocation. So this is the end of the story, and we can say that by doing this process, we can this is step number 4, but we don't need it. We basically, this is the summary. Okay, so so in a summary, we can see that there are a number of steps, maybe 8 to 10 steps are required, where we can find out the most efficient way of assigning jobs to the people. So if you feel that giving an assignment to the people is not easy, now it is easy because we know assignment problems. That's all from all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.